Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of Nucleane Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see that we have a new banner behind me, a new logo. We're switching things up. We're updating some things. So there you go. Today, we're going to talk about elevator pitches and why they matter more than you think. Before we get to that, we're sponsored by Health West. Great organization, great people. Find them nearest to you by Googling them and give them a shot. We're also sponsored by Nucleane Commercial Cleaning and Commercial Cleaning Services, my companies. If you need any janitorial needs, carpet cleaning needs, any disinfecting needs, give us a call, 208-254-7070. And if we can help you, and if you tell us you heard about us on the podcast, we will give you a free office sterilization, no strings attached. All right. So even if you're not raising capital, you need this. Okay. We're talking about elevator pitches again. What is an elevator pitch really? Okay. Let's get into it. Okay. I promise, guys, it's not going to be boring today. You're going to enjoy this. You're going to get something out of it. You know, it's a 30-second or less statement that explains what your business does, who it helps, and what makes it different. It's not just for investors. It's for you, your team, and your clients. Okay. Russell Brunson, he's actually from Boise, Idaho. Love to have him on the show one of these days. Founder of ClickFunnels.com, says you're only one funnel away. You're also one clear pitch away from someone finally understanding why your business matters. Okay. You're a clear pitch forces clarity. Sometimes we as business owners or business leaders that in a business that doesn't really have a pitch or a goal in mind, it's like steering a ship without a rudder. And it's important first to have some kind of target in the distance to hit and to navigate towards. And that's why pitches matter. And that's why they're going to help you guide your ship towards, at the end of your career, selling it or having a company that you can hand down or sell to your children, or whatever you decide to do. It'll be on your terms, not anyone else's. It's be your terms. So let's get into this. So Russell also says if you confuse, you lose. This is why you want to have a clear pitch. Okay. Before we get into all that, I'll even go down a quick little pitch. If you want to hear what our pitch would be, our pitch is literally Nucleane delivers consistent, high-quality commercial cleaning for medical and professional facilities without the hassle. We combine franchise-level systems with local accountability so clients never have to chase their cleaners again. Okay, guys, you can usually get on ChatGPT, help you out with this kind of stuff, make you sound smarter than you really are, especially if you're using ChatGPT a lot and you've entered a lot of stuff in about you and your systems. I actually went on there and we have core values and we have systems in line already, and we have all that stuff in place. But I said, hey, create a pitch for what you know currently about me and my core values and my business, and it spit that out. I'm like, oh, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty cool. So it makes it really quick. So that's a quick and easy pitch for you guys to wrap your ideas around and your mind around. So why does it matter? And clarity drives and intentionality. Okay. Business owners are just doing the work. There's business, there's owning a business, and then there's owning your job. Sometimes we as owning your own business, sometimes you're waking up on a Monday or Tuesday, whatever. Mostly on Mondays, you're just like, okay, what's in store for me today? Sometimes we're not organized, or even if we are organized, we're thinking, okay, where do I have to jump in and help out? Where do I need to jump in to make this ship continue to stay on course so I can continue to make money? And that's all fine and dandy, but you, at that point, you're just still owning your job. Even if you have employees, even if you have managers, if you're finding yourself thinking, okay, where do I have to consistently jump in uh, to make sure this thing is turning and burning, you still technically still own your job. And honestly, guys, I still find myself doing the same thing. I even when I feel like, hey, I feel like I'm stepping away, I'm doing mostly on my business work. There's times I'm still stepping in and doing a few things. This morning, after I'm done with this podcast, will be a thing that I'm going in and mounting a piece of equipment on another piece of equipment, thinking, okay, how do I make it so this is not something I'm doing going forward? How do I do it? So how do I make this so I'm not in charge of these type of things? So, and if you're a small business or a startup, sorry, you are in charge of all of this. So you own your job right now, and that's fine. You have to own your job until you start bringing in revenue enough to be able to bring in people that can help. But remember, before I get too far off course, when you bring in people to help out, they don't always have to be full-time people. Remember, we talked about thin slicing things. Okay. I don't want to get too far off course, but that makes things cheaper. That makes things more affordable for you. Okay. One of my friends and mentors, Carl Allen, business mind guru, says you don't need money to buy a business. You need systems. You also need clarity. You need to run the business, not be the business. Having a pitch is equal to having direction. It aligns your marketing, hiring, and your growth strategy. So keep that in mind. It's huge. Okay. I know there's days like we just talked about, especially in my business, there's times like, you're mopping a floor, or if you're, we're a man down on my roofing business, so gotta go jump on a roof, or shoot, I'm a loan, I'm mortgage off. Wow, if I could speak today, it would be fantastic. I'm a mortgage loan business, and I'm down a loan officer today, and it's busy. I'm stepping in. Okay, I understand things like that happen. But then you got to ask yourself, how often does this happen? And am I designing my business to be dependent on me or independent of me? And Mylett says intentional effort is the difference between winning and just working. Don't confuse motion with progress. Sometimes, especially us in Idaho, we are hardworking people, and that's what a lot of people in this nation don't realize how hardworking we are, and we to go home at night. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I've done a lot of work and I feel good because I'm physically tired, I'm drained. But sometimes we got to ask ourselves, is it motion or is it progress? Am I just physically tired because I'm lacking systems? Even though we got a project done, and are you going back tomorrow to do the same thing because you don't have the hiring systems in place? Is it because you don't have the management systems in place to keep things going without you being there? Those are things to think about. Okay, your pitch becomes a filter. Does this task help me to get closer to the business I describe in my pitch? If not, delegate, automate, or eliminate. And I've done that countless times in my business, where I've found myself thinking, crap, I'm doing this. I'm thinking, why am I doing this? And then I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I gotta take my own advice. How to sit down. When this happens, I do this. When this happens, I reach out to this person. And this person doesn't answer, I reach out to this person. And this is how I solve that problem. Diagram it all out, map it all out, and then I send it and have it all ready. And then I get someone on my team to make sure that's their job now. That's one of their jobs, if they have the bandwidth to take it. Okay. You can't build a sellable business if it falls apart when you leave town. Think about that. If you can't take a vacation for even a weekend without things just melting down, how are you ever going to get out of your business and have any kind of exit without just thinking liquidation value? Because you don't get out of that business. You liquidate it, you liquidate your assets, and that's how you get out at the end. And that's not how anyone wants to get out. That's, your blood, sweat, and tears are in that business, and you'd love to see something out of it at the end. But it only happens when there is a North Star, guiding you. And that pitch is something simple, easy to put together that can help you, your team, and it even has a clear message for your customers. Okay? Right on. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm currently looking for businesses to buy, service businesses. I've seen countless businesses, mine included at the beginning, that are ready, well, mine's not included in this, but I've seen countless that are ready to sell. I mean, they're wanting to sell right now, but they're not ready to sell because they're a one-man band, meaning they have maybe employees, but that person does everything. The owner does everything. So without that owner being there after he wants to sell and get out and walk away and go walk on the sunset beach, just enjoying life, smoking a cigar, whatever he wants to do, that business ceases to be a business because that person does everything. And all the systems are in his head or her head. That's not a business. And be weary of those type of acquisitions. Because even though they'll say, oh, no, yeah, X, Y, and Z person over here, she takes care of that. Or this employee, she does that. That's not me. You do your due diligence. And you'll see. But if they don't have systems in line and they can't leave town without 10 phone calls during a weekend or during a day, they own their job. They don't have a business to sell to you, and that business is not going to go very far. And if you buy that type of business, you're going to see a steep decline in revenue and everything before you have to rebuild it personally with the right systems to bring it back up again. Okay, all right. We're getting towards the end, guys. I promise you. Keep right with me. So to build your elevator pitch, there's 5 components you can think of here to make it really easy for yourself. Who you serve, your target market. Be specific. It helps people quickly place your business. Okay. For example, my businesses we serve medical professional facilities and some property managers. Okay. What's the problem you solve? Focus on pain or frustration, not just the service. Okay. Mine again would be who are tired of chasing unreliable cleaners. How you solve it, your unique approach, what sets you apart, systems, responsiveness and culture with franchise level systems, real-time communications, and local accountability. That's us in a nutshell right there. What's in it for them? Clear outcomes for the customer. Spell out the benefits, time saved, peace of mind, better health outcome, etc. So they never have to worry about cleanliness or complaints again. In a perfect world, the complaints never have to worry again. But we're not in a perfect world, so there's still going to have to be complaints here and there with our industry, for every industry. Why it matters. Optional, but powerful, especially if you're mission driven. Okay, so this is purpose, impact for our business. The this is really good for our employees, so they know where all their hard work is really going towards. Besides, putting money in their own pocket, we do have a purpose behind what we're doing as a company here. And right here, it's at the end of our statement. It's because we're profitable, and because we're profitable and intentional, we give back to kids in need through the CASA organization. So Nucleane and commercial cleaning services, we give a portion of our profits back just to CASA, as a non-for-profit organization that helps children in need. So that's why it matters to us and hopefully to our customers. So when someone hears your pitch, they should be able to answer 3 things. Is this for me? Do I get what they do? Do I feel a reason to care or trust? Okay, I'm hoping some of this is clear for you guys so you can actually put something together for yourselves. So for your pitch, say it to your team, see if they get it, post it somewhere visible, computer screens, meeting rooms, etc., break rooms. Ask yourself every week, am I building this business or just running in? Or just running in it? Out of your time, what percentage is growth versus damage control? And then remember, your pitch equals your business compass. Now, as we close this thing out, just remember, don't just build something that pays you, build something worth buying. Now, as always, you guys, if you want, you can DM me your pitches, and I give you some feedback on it if you want. Obviously, I'm not a pitch professional, but feel free. I'm here for you guys. And as always, guys, if this has helped you, or if you know someone that this episode could help, share it with them. Share with them on your networks, and that would be fantastic. But always be happy, be grateful, and find opportunities to serve others, and have a fantastic day and week.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.